Hey, what's up? It's Tuesday. I'm Jim here for TheRoughCuts, and today I will be reviewing the film Head. Now, Head is, of course, the 1968 psychedelic comedy, which was the Monkees movie. I'm mainly reviewing this because Davy Jones died today, or at least the day that I'm filming this, and then I thought about how I used to actually watch Head a lot in high school. I saw it like every 6 months or something for like a couple of years, which is odd because it's like a really weird movie. This movie makes no sense. It's like gleefully plotless. There's various segments that kind of form somewhat of a story, I guess, if it's a story. The Monkees are in it playing the Monkees. They do have musical performances. I think someone's called up the most cohesive parts of the film, and that's probably true. It's just really weird and bizarre, and how it was written was the Monkees, Jack Nicholson, and Bob Rafelson all went on a trip to Luigi, California. They went to this resort. They all basically just smoked a lot of weed and had a tape recorder, and they came up with the film. They said they basically brainstormed into a tape recorder when they're all coming up with this. Then Jack Nicholson then took those tapes and took LSD and transcribed the script. I think I kind of just like how the Monkees looked at their image at a certain point and really started to deconstruct it and parody it. Every star is so protected, and none of them are like deep or cool enough to do something like Head now. And that's kind of one of the things I really like about Head, because it's like, it's so ballsy and risky, and like, of course, Monkees fans who were like, teenage girls didn't really want to see Head, and it's like completely out there, and actually it bombed, and it took years for people to really even appreciate it. I think it's actually pretty decent, and when you compare it to something like Magical Mystery Tour, I actually think as a film it's better than Magical Mystery Tour. Now, music-wise, obviously Magical Mystery Tour wins. It's this surreal kind of art film, but it has like a pretty decent budget, it looks like. They're shooting on Hollywood sets. It's very stream of consciousness and very odd and very weird and very early 60s. Bob Rafelson, after this, he used the money from the Monkees to make Easy Rider. And Easy Rider and Head were apparently being made around the same time. Head, I believe, came out first, and then Easy Rider. He would go on to direct 5 Easy Pieces. This film has a lot of odd appearances. There's appearances by Terry Garr, Carol Doda, Annette Funicello. Frank Zappa shows up with a cow. He has like a cow for some reason on the studio lot. Sonny Liston, Timothy Carey from World's Greatest Sinner fame, Dennis Hopper, and Toni Basil. Yes, Toni Basil, from Mickey. Oh, Mickey, you so fine. She was also an Easy Rider, so I guess she was down with these guys. I don't know. Which has like some anti-Vietnam undertones. Of course, it's the late 60s. Certainly an experience, and a bizarre experience. They do all this silly filter stuff. It's very of its time. It's actually decent at being a stream of consciousness surreal psychedelic movie. And there are a lot of bad ones. And this one has a certain character and a charm to it, and that the Monkees are kind of like, hey, fuck you, guys, alright? We want to do what we want to do. We're going to do this weird movie, whether it destroys us or not. They like kind of conned this film studio into giving them the money to make Head. Is just like, there's certain a punk rock element to it, even though this is pre-punk, I guess. This is like the weird art house movie that everyone used to be like, I don't know about going to the art house. Those movies are weird. So if you have seen Head and you would like to talk about it, then comment below in the comments. And if you want to talk about Davy Jones, subscribe to TheRoughCuts. If you haven't already, subscribe to my main channel in the info box below. Follow me on Twitter, Tumblr, and potentially VHX. And go to Earl Barrett Holloway's Kickstarter. He is making a comic book, and he needs money to do so. So his new comic, The Squid. So go to Kickstarter. The link is in the info box below, and check it out. And I made the video for the Kickstarter as well. So if that's any incentive, I guess. I don't know. Which, by the way, there is a rumor that they thought this movie, because the Monkees were so big, would obviously have a sequel. And they thought in the trailer for the sequel, the joke would be from the people who gave you Head, which I think is really funny.